President Biden on a significant day in efforts to turn his political fortunes around. Let's bring in CNN's Arlette Saenz in Madison, Wisconsin, where the president had an event a short while ago and sat down for a TV interview. Arlette, what did the president say just a little while ago?
Well, Pamela, President Biden has completed his interview with ABC News, a critical test as he is looking to course correct following his halting debate performance last week. This interview is one that will be very closely watched as Americans are trying to gauge whether the president is up to serve in a second term. It will be one that's unscripted, one that is without teleprompters at a time when there are many presenting questions towards the president about whether he has the stamina to run for a second term in office. Now, President Biden, as he was departing Madison, Wisconsin a short while ago, took several questions from reporters where he once again insisted that he is not leaving this 2024 race. Take a listen.
Completely ruling that out.
Mr. President, how can you present to a case that democracy is at risk, that you are the best candidate to beat Donald Trump?
Because I've beaten him before, and I've gotten more done than any president has.
Have you spoken to members of Congress?
But you've been wrong about everything so far.
Not really.
You were wrong about 2020. You were wrong about 2022. We were going to get wiped out. Remember the red wave? You were wrong about 2023. And you said all the tough races, we won them all but two. So, look, we'll see.
Have you spoken to members of Congress?
I have.
Who have you spoken to?
At least 20.
What are they telling you? What are they telling you, sir?
They're telling me to stay in the race.
What about the people who have called for their gathering together to call for him to step aside? I think Senator Mark Warner is one of the people.
Well, Mark Warner, my understanding, is the only one considering that. No one else has called me for that.
Do you value the thoughts of officials in your policy?
Former President Trump again.
I hope they'll debate me. I wouldn't be surprised
And
if
if he's in, will you commit to debating him?
I'm committing now, absolutely, whether he's in or not.
Do you value the thoughts of members of your own party when it comes to your decision to stay in the race?
Sure I do. That's why they've said, you guys saw the governors. Every one of them in that room. All those governors said, stay in the race.
Laura Healy.
Laura Haley didn't say anything when I was in the room. Okay?
Sir, will you make changes to your campaign staff at all after the debate? Fallout?
We're adding, look, we've just added another 120 staffers. We have the most extensive staff operation in the states.
And are you pleased with your advisors and how they're seeing you through this moment in your campaign?
Any mistake made is my fault. Thank you.
Are you confident you can serve another 4 years?
I'm positive.
President Biden, you always talk to young people. You're so committed to talking to young people. Why not let someone younger take the country forward? You have to ask. Why not let, every CEO has a succession plan?
Well, by the way, you do have succession plans. But what do I need a succession plan for now? And by the way, anyway.
No, go ahead.
Thank you.
Now, during that exchange with reporters, the president was specifically asked about this new Washington Post reporting that said Senator Mark Warner, a Democrat of Virginia, is trying to assemble a group of Democratic senators to ask President Biden to drop out of this race. According to this reporting, Warner has told Democratic senators that he doesn't believe Biden can remain in the race after that debate performance. A spokesperson for Warner told the Washington Post that they would neither confirm nor deny that reporting, but added, like many other people in Washington and across the country, Senator Warner believes these are critical days for the president's campaign, and he has made that clear to the White House.
And also, we heard him there on the stage in Wisconsin, directly taking on his critics, and also saying they want me to leave the race. He didn't really specify who they was, but tell us more about that.
Yeah, President Biden was defiant in his remarks here in Madison, and he talked about how there are some trying to push him out of the race. It comes, as you have heard, some privately and publicly, some top Democratic officials suggest that President Biden should step aside at this moment. Now, the president forcefully pushed back on that idea and also really tried to reframe the debate and the questions about his age. Take a listen.
There's been a lot of speculation. What's Joe going to do? Is he going to stay in the race? Is he going to drop out? What's he going to do? Well, here's my answer. I am running and going to win again. You voted for me to be your nominee, no one else. You, the voters did that. And despite that some folks don't seem to care who you voted for, well, guess what? They're trying to push me out of the race. Well, let me say this as clearly as I can. I'm staying in the race. I keep seeing all those stories about I'm being too old. Let me say something. I was too old. I wasn't too old to create over 15 million new jobs. To make sure 21 million Americans are insured under the Affordable Care Act. What do you think? You think I'm too old to restore Roe v. Wade, the law of the land? You think I'm too old to ban assault weapons again? To protect Social Security and Medicare?
Now, the president spoke for about 15 minutes here in Madison using a teleprompter throughout that speech. But then afterwards, he went into an overflow room where there were more supporters. And there he did not use a teleprompter. And he said to them that he is not going to back down from this race. It highlights part of the effort the campaign wants to try to make in the coming weeks to have President Biden engage in these more unscripted moments. That is something that many allies have encouraged Biden to do in the wake of that debate. Now, the Biden campaign has also laid out some aggressive plans for the month of July. They plan to have President Biden, the Vice President, First Lady, and Second Gentleman travel to all the battleground states by the end of the month. They are also launching a $50 million media campaign on television and digital to try to get their message out to voters. So trying to show that this this campaign remains on track at this time, even as there are serious doubts from within the president's own party about whether he should remain at the top of the ticket.
All right.